Alright, so Eleven Labs just released a brand new tool called ElevenMusic, and basically with this tool you can easily generate your own piece of music, perhaps without knowing how to play some musical instruments, without knowing how to sing a song, and music production in general. All you need to do is to just provide a description of the song. You can provide the lyrics, the topics, music, the genre, the mood, and some other details, and then later AI will do the rest. Now, this is not exactly a new technology. I mean, we have seen many tools that can do the same, like Suno AI, Udio AI, and more recently, the Flow Music platform from Google, which is something that I'll talk a bit later in this video. But there are a few features in ElevenMusic that I believe will make this platform to be a little more attractive than the rest. So first, they got some licensing from some artists, and you can even remix the songs from those artists, and it is possible to make money in this platform. So if somebody else used the music that you have created or remixed in ElevenMusic, then perhaps you get some royalty or some percentage of the deal. So I think that's a very interesting and very unique economic model, especially in the new era of AI. And also, from what I can tell, I think they have made sure that creating music and remixing music on this platform is to be as easy as possible. So even if you don't know how to prompt or maybe some musical terminologies, they will help you. They will ensure that it's not going to be a roadblock if you want to create music in this platform. So in this video, I'll show you how you can create your own piece of music using ElevenMusic. So the first step is you can navigate to this URL, ElevenMusic.io, and I will provide my referral link in the description down below. It is not mandatory, but if you sign up using my link, then you will get extra credits that later you can use to generate more songs in the platform. So after that, you can sign up using your email or your Gmail account, and you'll see a sort of onboarding process that look like this. So what brings you to ElevenMusic? You can answer that with "I'm here to listen and create." And also you can provide a name for the account. You might also select your favorite genre. This is for letting AI to provide a personalization or recommendation on your account. This is not very important, so you can skip it if you want to. And then lastly, if you are seriously planning to make money, you want to be known as an artist, then perhaps you can provide your stage name. But again, this is not exactly mandatory, and you can skip the process. But basically, when you're done with the onboarding process, you'll see something that look like this. I would say it is quite simple, and it's very different than Suno or Flow Music, where there are plenty of buttons and menus. So here I would say they have made sure that it is not going to be overly confusing. Now, before I continue, maybe some of you are confused about the other music generation tool that is offered by ElevenLabs. And I can understand that, because indeed in ElevenLabs.io, there is a dedicated page called Music that you can use to generate music. In fact, the music model in ElevenLabs and in ElevenMusic is the same. And it can be very confusing indeed, but again, the goal of ElevenMusic is you can create music from other artists, of course the licensed artists, and then you can make some money. And also, it is going to be a lot easier than the music generation page on ElevenLabs. At least those are some distinction that I can notice after observing these two platforms. Anyway, let's continue. So after that, you can navigate to Studio if you want to create a new piece of music, and you'll see that these are some examples that I have created, and I would say it is pretty good. It is on par with Suno and Google Flow Music, but there is a problem that I will explain later. But anyway, if you want to create the music, you can describe the song right here, and there is a system in place that will ensure that you can make a good prompt even without knowing how to prompt. So let's say I'm going to use maybe this description. I want to create an indie pop song about my complaint or experience when I'm trying to get some healthy beverages, only to realize that nearly half of it is just sugar. Yeah, that's very random, but that's actually a real thing. Okay, so this is going to be my prompt. Okay, let me just fix maybe some mistakes that I could found. All right, so here, this is going to be the main topic, but how about the other details like the mood, the instrumental, and many other details? Well, down here, you can select the details later that will guide the music generation. So you can choose between mood, genre, and energy. So let's start with mood. Let's say I want to have a mood that is perhaps playful. I think that's very interesting. Playful. Okay, that tag or detail will be added into the prompt. That's very interesting. I'm going to continue. Let's see if we can add something else. Maybe that's fine. Let's continue with the genre. Okay, the genre is, I think it was indie pop, so I'm going to select pop, and maybe I'm going to add something else like soul. Perhaps it's very interesting. And lastly, I'll choose the energy. It's going to be perhaps steady and building. I will try something else like perhaps euphoric. Okay, so here, this is the feature that I was talking about. You don't have to know some terminologies because AI will provide a recommendation based on your initial input. Now, if you want to create your own lyrics, you can do that. But if you don't provide any lyrics, then AI will create it for you. Now, if you click this gear icon to open settings, you'll see other settings, other options that you can access. And right now, I'm using the free version of ElevenMusic. And by the way, I think this is a good time to mention that your ElevenLabs subscription won't be transferred or translated into the the ElevenMusic subscription. So these tools are again separate. If you subscribe to ElevenMusic, it doesn't mean that if you subscribe to ElevenLabs, doesn't mean that the subscription will translate to ElevenMusic. This is strange given that Flow Music from Google actually will automatically transfer your subscription on Google AI or Gemini into Google Flow Music. So it's a really strange decision from ElevenLabs, but anyway, that is such a point. Okay, right here, I can only select one music because I'm using the free version, and I will select the duration to be automatic. And here you can choose between a normal song with vocals or instrumental, but I'll just use the normal song, and it's just non-instrumental basically. And this is the lyrics model. Now again, I'll just select auto, but if you have access to the paid version, I guess you can use the deeper model. I think I'm fine with auto. And the style also, I cannot access the feature because I'm using the free version, but I suppose you can see some styles that you can apply to your prompting or settings. Now, after that, when you're done, you can click create. Let me just copy it first because I'm going to try the same thing on Google Flow Music. So I'll just use the default settings, and I will create the music, and we will do a quick comparison later. Now this process might take about a minute or two, so be patient, and I guess later I'll show you the results of these two platforms. Okay, so it took about 1 minute for ElevenMusic, but 2 minutes for Google Flow Music. Although to be fair, it generated two versions of the song, so I guess it is kind of the same. So let me just play the version from ElevenMusic, and I'm going to play the Flow Music version later.
I reached for the good stuff on the shelf today. Thought I was doing my body a favor. Label in my hand, acting all innocent. Greens on the front, little leaves in the print. Fruit on the bottle like a halo glow. Then bottle is sugar, sugar. Hiding behind good plain. Don't pour candy rain through a health campaign. Give me tart, give me crisp, let the real thing shine. Let a grown-up drink have a grown-up spine. I don't need dessert in a plastic.
I would say if you asked me the score between 1 to 10 of this song, I would give it a score 8. It sounds really good. Now let's play the version from Flow Music. Now I'll play the first variation because it's the first that it just created. Okay, I'm going to play the music.
$7 on my card. Minimiftless cups making life so hard. Oh. I walked in feeling sick. Said give me the green, make it quick. You had the beanie and the earnest face. Best healthy spot in the whole damn space. I said no syrup, keep it raw. You nodded and handed me the straw. I took a hit on the end. You looked me in the eye. You looked me in the eye. You said it was clean, but it's a candy high. Oh, I trusted you with my throat. I wanted Anchor Kinks and to the wellness trend. I thought we were maleness trend. I thought we were making a deal, my friend. My afternoon, now I'm bouncing off the sidewalk, talking to the moon. You swore it wasn't sweeted. You swore it wasn't sweeted. I am spinning,
Okay, it's also really good, and I would give it the same score as the one that was produced by ElevenMusic. And yeah, I mean, it's up to you to decide which one sounds better, but I think the AI model on both platforms are doing great job at creating music from a text description. Now let's try remixing or modifying or editing the music. So it is also possible to do that in ElevenMusic, and of course you can use an English description or just text description about what you want to change. So to do remixing, you can you can click this menu that says more options or the music that you want to modify. Click remix, and that will be added into the input prompt later. So let's say change the genre to disco. Okay, that's going to be my request, and of course I will do the same to Google Flow Music, and let's see the result later. So I'll just skip about this video again, and I'll show you the comparison between the results of these two AI platforms. Alright, so this is the result for ElevenMusic, and remember, I was asking AI to turn the genre into disco. So let's take a listen.
just wanted something clean on ice. Why's every sip got a candy disguise? You had me fooled by the color and the name. Little bit of wellness ice. Meanwhile my breakfast is already sweet. Now this drink wants to raise my heartbeat. Half of this bottle.
Yeah, the vibe is different, but it is not disco, so that's actually really strange. So let's try the Flow Music version. I'm going to play the result.
$7 on my card. Minimalist cups making life so hard. Ooh, make it quick. You had the beanie. Me in the eye. You looked me in the eye. You said it was clean, but it's a candy high. Oh, I trusted you with Sweden. I'm sweating in my vintage. Thought we were making a deal, my friend. Oh, I trusted you with my app.
Yep, that's definitely a disco song. So unfortunately in ElevenMusic, when it comes to remixing, which is something that they advertise a lot, it is not as good as Google Flow Music. And remember, Google Flow Music can be used without paying for any subscription. After all, it is related to your Google or Gemini account. So I think that's something that ElevenLabs or ElevenMusic must improve very, very soon. And also, I'm hoping that in the future they will integrate the subscription on ElevenLabs into ElevenMusic, so people don't have to subscribe to multiple different platforms. They can just pay once and got more or less the same features or services. But yeah, that's basically how you can easily generate a piece of song and also remixing your own song using ElevenMusic. And by the way, I forgot to mention that you can absolutely upload your own music and then do the editing or the mixing right here in ElevenMusic. But of course, make sure that you have the right of that content, otherwise it is basically prohibited. So that's how you can generate your own song using this platform. And if you want to see other things that you can do with other AI tools, then you can check out this video up here, and I'll see you there.